So with all this talk about the Authority making their on-screen debut and potentially appearing in the Superman Legacy film, didn't know a lot about them, so I went back, did my research, and I've been really fascinated by them and their history. So I thought I would give a bit of a brief overview of who these characters are. Today we're going to be doing Swift, or her real name, Shen Li Men, was an original member of the Authority and set to become the 4th Doctor. She was one of the characters that had some minor changes when rolled over into the DC universe, but we'll start from the beginning in the Wildstorm universe. When a comet passed by Earth, it activated a genetic quirk in some people that eventually manifested into powers, either naturally or through special seedlings called activators. Swift was one of those seedlings. When she was brought into Stormwatch, she was still a rookie and her powers were only partially activated. When the Stormwatch team's rosters were reconfigured, Swift was sent to Stormwatch Black alongside Jenny Sparks, with whom she briefly was in a relationship with, and also another prominent member was on the team, Jack Hawksmore. During this time, a woman by the name of Christine Trelane offered to fully activate Swift's powers. Swift accepted. Once Stormwatch disbanded, Swift joined the Authority. She was formerly a pacifist, but she put those beliefs aside to fight for a better world, regardless of the cost. When the team was replaced, Swift was brainwashed to become the trophy wife of a television mogul who was part of the conspiracy to replace her and the team. After a lot of verbal and mental abuse, she overheard the quote-unquote off-button code and proceeded to free herself. She quite literally took the heads off of her fake husband and his co-conspirator. She also helped free her friend, the engineer, and killed the man who was abusing her. Some further interesting comic arcs including her are World's End. After this story, or during it, she became the Doctor and her story changed. Her powers when she was Swift are avian enhanced genetics, enhanced durability, senses and strength, along with superhuman hearing, sight and speed. She also has animal empathy, flight, talons, magic, enlightened senses, reincarnation and access to the Garden of Ancestral Memories. Now for her life as the Doctor, pretty much most of her time in DC. Here, she is only known as Shen Li Men, or the Doctor. She got the abilities from the previous Doctor during the World's End event, as we just discussed. One person every generation is granted the power to heal and aid, with the process going back farther than recorded history. When she was chosen, she was roped right into an intergalactic battle with Jenny Sparks, Jack Hawksmore, and Angela Speaker, the engineer. Her powers here include reality alteration, healing, teleportation, and sound manipulation. As Swift, she first appeared in Stormwatch issue 28 in 1995, and as the Doctor, the Wildstorm issue 8, 2017. Now for Jack Hawksmore, starting with his Wildstorm origin. Jack Hawksmore, or his real name of John Cooper Hawksmore, was a prominent and OG member of the Authority. As a boy, Jack was frequently abducted by what he thought were aliens, but it turned out to be beings from the future who were then abducting him to prepare him to save the world. During each abduction, Jack's organs were removed and he was painfully implanted with strange technology enabling him to interact with cities, which kind of reminds me of the newest DC, hero or character that was brought out in Dawn of DC, City Boy. So the reason for his enhancements became obvious when a being who was Kansas City, literally became Kansas City from the 70th century, came back in time to destroy the world. Jack turned the city of Tokyo into a giant robot, fought the battle, and won. Years later, he was approached to join Stormwatch. He ended up joining Stormwatch Black and fought with Swift and Jenny Sparks, and went on many successful missions with the team. During a mission, he was forced to kill a teammate to stop her from murdering everybody. So once Stormwatch disbanded, he went into hiding with Jenny and Swift, before recruiting Apollo and Midnighter, the engineer and the Doctor to become the Authority. Jack was there at the death of Jenny Sparks, and he inherited leadership of the team. When the team was replaced, he lived as a brain-dead homeless bum, and couldn't convince anyone who he was. But later, he was rescued by his team, he regained his powers, which those are including urban symbiosis, urban control, telepathy, information, awareness, physiological adaptions, teleportation and phasing, coupled with enhanced hearing, vision, sense of touch and sense of smell, and also superhuman leaping, adhesion, density control, enhanced urban healing, and clairvoyance. Some interesting stories including him are Cooper Did Heart, Revolution, Worldstorm, and World's End. Now onto his DC counterpart. He had the same names here, Jack Hawksmore, or the real name of John Cooper Hawksmore. He hasn't had any standout features since the rollover, but is included in a lot of team comics, including Swamp Thing, the Red Lanterns, Voodoos, and there's also some vampire comics including him. His powers are similar, but also a lot are missing. So far he only has a unique physiology, enhanced senses, superhuman strength, and superhuman durability. First appearing in Wildstorm issue 37 in 1996, and later in DC in Stormwatch Volume 3, issue 1, 2011. So that is Jack and Swift done. We've got 2 more characters to do after this, and then that'll be all of the OG most prominent members of the Authority team. I'm going to couple them all into one big compilation video when it's done, so that's going to be about 30-40 minutes long. A really just big explainer on the team. But after this, I have another thing that I wanted to kind of do, another little plan, another kind of thing like this, which is going to be the Creature Commandos, since James Gunn actually announced that they'll be playing a very prominent part in his upcoming DC Gods and Monsters slate. And not a lot of people seem to know who these teams are, whereas I've known them all for a good while, except for the Authority, which were only recent. It wasn't up until actually he did announce it, so that's my bad. But I did know of Apollo and Midnighter, but anyway. So Creature Commandos is next, so not tomorrow, but the day after, you'll get the last one of this 2-parter, which will obviously be the last 2 members who we have not done yet. And then after that, put them all together in about a week's time, and then we're going to start doing Creature Commandos. So thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, hit the subscribe button, like, comment your favourite character from the Authority, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, comics